Hi, my name is Blaney, and most of you probably already know who I am as you're watching this video on your Facebook feed because we're friends. But I'm hoping that a lot of you don't know who I am, because that means your friends have shared with your friends and you're hearing my message. My message today is to bring awareness to pregnancy and infant loss. Today is October 15th, and it is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Day. I am the face of pregnancy and infant loss. This year on June 20th at 7:46 p.m., I delivered my beautiful Brensley Rose Bar at 20 weeks. I had no idea that this was how my pregnancy would end. My pregnancy was healthy. I was highly monitored because I have transposition of the great arteries, which is congenital heart disease, and I am advanced maternal age. So I saw a doctor very often. 3 days before I gave birth to Brensley, I started to have cramps, and they weren't consistent. And I called into my doctor's office, and they said, just drink some more water and keep us posted. You're probably just expanding because you're a tiny gal. Well, I had some more warning signs a few mornings later and called in again, and they said, I think it would be best if you came into labor and delivery and we'll just double check on you. I can still remember the drive over the bridge from the East Bay to the peninsula with my husband, thinking everything's going to be fine. We just need to check up on her. When I got in, they strapped the monitors on me and saw that she was moving. We did an ultrasound and she had a great heartbeat. There was nothing wrong with Brensley. The doctor suspected that I may have had an infection in my uterus. The only way to know clearly was to do an amniocentesis and get the fluid from the amniotic sac and test it and see if I had an infection. So we decided to do that. But as the doctor was prepping to do the amniocentesis on me, I was contracting too often. And she knew in her heart that I probably did have an infection. She stopped mid-preparation and looked us both in the eyes and said, I can't proceed. I don't feel safe, and I'm almost positive that you have an infection. This was devastating for my husband and I, because what it meant was there was nothing that we could do to save our beautiful little girl who had done nothing and who was totally healthy. At this point, we had to decide how we were going to let her go. We don't think that when we get pregnant, we'll ever have to make that decision. We don't think that when we get pregnant at 20 weeks, we will deliver our child and she will only be with us for 2 hours. On June 20th, I delivered my baby girl, just barely under a pound, and she stayed with us bravely for 2 hours. After I delivered her, I went into uncontrollable shivers and my fever spiked, which confirmed I did have an infection. And I stayed in the hospital for 3 days on heavy antibiotics. The reason why I lost Brensley is because I had an infection in my uterus. And that's something that can happen. I also want people to know that I didn't just lose Brensley. I started my pregnancy with twins. And at 8.5 weeks, I lost my twin. So I have had a miscarriage and I've had a preterm delivery. I'm not sharing my story to make you cry or to feel sad for me or for sympathy. I'm sharing my story because women don't, and women are scared. It's not something we like to talk about. But 1 in 4 women experience a miscarriage. And as I have shared my story on social media, I have learned that there are many women in my life that have already experienced pregnancy or infant loss. It's important to break the silence. It's important for us to create a safe space for women to share, for fathers to share their loss, and for it to be okay. So I ask that you not only light a candle tonight for my sweet Brensley Rose, but for all the other angel babies, and to help break the silence for pregnancy and infant awareness a loss. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you to all my friends and family for your support of my husband Bobby and I. And thank you to my husband, Bobby Barr, for being an amazing rock. The best person I could ever think to have by my side through all of this. I love you. I love you, Brensley Rose. Thank you for allowing me to be a mommy to you. And I hope that one day we'll meet again. And to all those parents out there who have had a loss, you are not alone. And I stand with you to help break the silence. Please celebrate Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Day today. Thank you.